Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. I am back in my little corner here. We're going to be doing a love reading for a client. And just so you guys know, up until midnight Sunday, the love readings are $15 off. So they are $45. And my one question tarot readings are also $15 off, so you can get one for 35 bucks, which is quite a steal because regular price, you know, you pay 50 for a one question or 60 for a love reading. So I just wanted to run a little sale because I have some time the next 10 days to really just film whenever the hell I want. I never have this opportunity to film whenever I want, but I'm house sitting, so I have the space to myself and it's like beautiful. So that said, we're going to be doing a love reading for a client, and my client is asking about a particular person in their life that they know that they are a twin flame with. So I believe my client received this clarification from another reader. But I do want to mention to you, my love, that just because you are twin flames doesn't mean that in this present life you will have a relationship, okay? It's the same thing with soulmates. Twin flames, soulmates, some lifetimes you will be unimaginably in love and together. Other lifetimes it's like you are more of a, how do I say it, like a oh my god, I can't think of the word. Just it's like a really bad attraction to one another, okay? Where no matter what you do, you just can't be together, okay? A fatal attraction. Fatal attraction. Thank you, Spirit. So some lifetimes you can be together, others you won't. Other lifetimes you'll find each other midway through. I mean, it just depends. But I really want us to make sure I get that across, that just because someone tells you you are a twin flame with someone doesn't mean that you are destined to be madly and deeply in love every lifetime. It doesn't work that way, okay? So it's kind of Spirit's way of saying, like, I'm being honest. I'm telling you how it is. And the Devil card, of course. So fatal attraction, okay? Now, I'm not saying that that's what this one is, but I'm just saying, like, it's the cards are clarifying what I'm saying. So, so the first question you asked is you just want to know, you know, what you were told is that you guys are twin flames, but that you have to spend some time apart, and that, you know, eventually you will find your way back together, hopefully, after spending some time apart. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like you're so in love, but you have to set that person free for a while. So we're going to see if this is true, that if you truly are indeed meant to come back together. And then the second question you wanted to know is how can you obtain this relationship? Basically, how can you get this person back if you are so indeed to have that relationship with this person in the future? So we're going to pull on that as well. I'm going to be working with the Psychic Tarot for the heart as well as the Rider-Waite. The first two cards that fell out is the Devil and the Ace of Swords. So that's telling me the Devil is temptation, okay? This is temptation with you. This is temptation with the other person involved. I also see that as like a fatal attraction kind of a thing, where it's you guys are magnets, okay? I feel like the two of you, when you are together, you are inseparable, but then at the same time, how magnets, when you know, like when you flip the magnet on the opposite side and you try to put them together and they just don't. I feel like that is also what you guys are experiencing in this present life. I feel like that even though you want to be together, there's this energy between you that is almost trying to keep the two of you apart. And I feel like Spirit is making me feel like these are lessons of truth, because that's what the Ace of Swords is really guiding me to feel, lessons of truth. But it's also with the shadow, because the devil can represent our not so pleasant pieces of ourselves, the things that we struggle with. And I feel like there's a lot of depth between you guys, but I also feel like there's a lot of healing that has to take place with the significant other, the other person we're talking about. With you, more so, I feel you're ready. I feel like your heart, you've gone through a lot, but you are ready to welcome love in your life. But I do feel like this other person has more of the darker aspects of themselves that they need to tap into, and I almost get the feeling like they run away from it. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling intuitively. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so we have the Magician, we have the World, and we have the Hermit. Wow, you are very much getting very strong cards for this reading. We have Shine, we have the Throat Chakra, Well-Deserved Reward, and Flow. So do I see the two of you coming together? Yes. I see the two of you reuniting. There's a cycle, okay? So I do see the two of you. There will be some changing moments. There will be some growth that will bring the two of you back together, okay? So I see that with the World card as we see it here in the core of the reading. But what is to bring that is to manifest. And these are like lessons learned. I always think of the Magician to represent a teacher that is kind of teaching us wise wisdom. And I feel like the Magician is kind of saying, you know, I like how he's pointing up to the devil. If your significant other or your other half, you know how, I don't know how I'm going to identify them, but I'll say significant other because this is a love reading, but you know who I'm talking about. The Magician is pointing up to the devil, and I feel like if your significant other is going to be willing to face some of their demons, okay? Demons, I mean, like as symbolic for their darker aspects of themselves, places that need forgiveness, places or pieces of themselves in their past that needs a lot of addressing. They have a lot of self-discovery that they need to find and figure out. There's a lot of things I feel like they are chaining them down, as the devil can also represent holding oneself back due to their struggles that have limitations. If this person is ready to deal with these and heal and go through the motions with that, I feel like there's a lot of manifesting that will come from it. There's a lot of new beginnings. There's a reset there. And I feel with that comes the cycle. But I'm also seeing the World card to kind of represent also the threat of falling into the same cycle that the two of you have consistently been in for a while now. And your significant other already recognizes this. As you mentioned in the email, one of the reasons why they are afraid to come back into this relationship is because they see the cycle. But you also have to keep in mind, they have a really big part in this, okay? I know, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm just blaming it on them, like they have this stuff to take care of. But I do feel my intuition is leading me that a lot of it is them, okay? But it doesn't mean that you get to run scot-free, that you're perfect. I'm saying, you know, a lot of these underlying issues revolve with them. If the two of you cannot overcome that, and if your significant other cannot overcome these things, this is a cycle that you will fall into. So the World card can be looked at as like a really positive, as I could see it as, you know, it's another chance, it's a second chance. But I also see it as, yeah, you're going to have a second chance with this person, but if nothing changes, it will fall into another cycle. Okay? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, and I love that we got the Sword card because I do see it as that. I do see the situation as being, it is like a double-edged sword. The future represented by the Hermit is also telling me that if you do fall in this cycle, there will be another length of time of being alone, okay? There will be a time of having to sort oneself alone, digging in deep again. And I do feel this is a lot of your significant other. So I don't want this reading to be directed just to them though. So I do feel that. I feel like, yes, there will be a time for a second chance, but if nothing is changed and nothing has been resolved from what you previously dealt with, it will fall in another cycle. As far as what the cards are showing me, okay? What I'm seeing is there's shine in the throat chakra. I really feel like the shine is kind of similar to the hermit, okay? Even though you're spending time alone, if you're single right now, you're not really seeing anybody. I feel it's like there's a lot of light leading the way. There's a lot of good things to kind of help you, kind of change your focus. So don't just be focusing on this person and this situation. You have to also allow yourself the ability to evolve. And if that means evolving without this person in the meantime, doing that. So don't hinder your growth and don't hinder your journey because you're waiting for this person to come back. I feel like you also need to find reasons or things in life that make you shine and make you stand out. So that's what I'm seeing there. The throat chakra is communication. That's a big one between you two. There needs to be a lot of communication. The flow, letting things go as they're meant to. So I can see why previous readers have told you need time apart, you need to kind of let things go. And when it's time and when it's meant to be, it'll come back. Because I do see the flow card to represent that. It's like you understand that you cannot control what is divinely meant to happen. It's like fate will happen as it's supposed to, and we're just little players on the chessboard, we are just going with it. We roll with the punches kind of thing. So I feel like flowing is hard for you at times. I feel like you like more control. But when it comes to stuff like this, sometimes you have absolutely no control over it, and you just have to really trust and run with it, And that's why it's important that you focus on other areas of yourself, because when you are just distracting yourself with other things and you're still working on your greatness, you are literally making yourself better for the future of this potential relationship to happen again. And then I see well-deserved reward, which was the card that indicated to me that there will be a reward at the end of this. That I do feel, to answer your first question, I do feel, yes, that there will be another chance, okay? But it is a double-edged sword. It is, if there is no changes made, it will fall into a cycle. And you will find yourselves in the same position as you are in the present. So there's a lot at stake there. There is a lot that needs to be changed. There's a lot that needs to be realized in order for this to work. So I feel like your significant other knows. I feel like they are protecting themselves by abstaining from your, being with you. But I also feel like they have a heck of a lot of areas in their own personal life that they need to tap into and resolve. Because I feel like that's part of the reason why love doesn't flow between you two when it should, okay? Or when it could, I should say. So let's pull a little advice card for that. And then we'll dive into the second question. The lesson. Yeah. The lesson with the crow. Crows always have big lessons for us, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes seeing the crow isn't always the best feeling. But the lesson here, what is the lesson of this portion of the reading? I feel the lesson is when you realize that this person has a lot to deal with, and if they are not dealing with their own demons, they are not a good fit for anyone, not just you, but for anyone. And this is a call for help. I feel, I really feel like this person, they need that space and they need that time. And that is where the lesson for you is to give them that and you honor them that. Okay. As much as you want to be with them, sometimes you have to honor the fact that this person needs space and they need time. And if they are asking that of you, you have to honor it. So I do feel like that's a big lesson for you. It's really hard for you to you know, to accept it, because your heart is telling you we're supposed to be together. But if someone is asking you for space and time, you have to honor that. So with that said, and for this second portion of the reading, because you wanted to know like what you can do to obtain this relationship, because I stated that there is a chance for the two of you to come together, so long as the cycle is, you know, it doesn't fall back into that cycle. I want to pull cards for advice for you. What can you do to change this cycle? I think that's really more valuable than what can you do to get this person to fall in love with you again or to come back to you. So what can you do to break this cycle that you guys seem to fall into? Let's see what the cards say. I'm loving the lighting right now. I don't always have the best lighting in this room, but it's crystal clear right now, so I'm very happy. Okay, we got one card that flew. Oh, yes. Okay. So Spirit is telling you, for one, to not give up, okay? The other thing that Spirit is saying is they're showing you to have trust, which I'm taking that to be like faith. To have trust, to have faith. Don't lose the faith. Don't lose the trust that, you know, something that is meant to be will be. If the two of you are meant to be and you feel it in your heart, and you give this person and honor them the time that they're asking of you, the space, you know, the reuniting will happen. And I do feel that it will. But I also feel like you have to honor this person's need for healing, because that's also what I'm seeing here, is the healing begins. The healing begins card came up, and I feel that more so this is for your significant other. This person has a lot of healing that they need to go through. How quickly will it take them? You know, that's up to them. They have a lot of sixes in the reading. There's you know, so that could mean June, the summertime might be the time when they finally they realize it. It could be 6 months. But I feel like what is going to really help is by you being patient and allowing this, because then we have simply love. And simply love is just basically just being there. Simply being there for this person as they go through this healing process will mean so much more to them than you giving that pressure or putting the pressure on them to start the relationship again. So really changing your attitude towards this is what I feel is what Spirit is saying. We also have find balance. Finding balance and just breathe. So that could be, you know, finding balance where the two of you can still have a relationship or a friendship. You guys can still be in contact with one another. You're still friends. You're still this and that. But you don't have the pressure of being in a relationship. You don't have the pressure of having to be committed. You know what I mean? Taking that away from that person, so that they can breathe, so that they can focus on themselves and their healing process. And then finally, I pulled the dedicated effort card, which shows you are very dedicated to this. You're so ready to invest so much of your time and energy into them that I do feel like you can change your ways, your way of thinking, and, you know, taking off some of the pressure so that they can focus on themselves. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Chariot, King of Cups, the Hangman, and then we have the Star. So again, lots of messages of healing, okay? With that Star card, it's going to be a long process. A King of Cups energy, this is you coming into this with it being a friend, but being a friend who listens. That is what this person needs most. Someone who listens and who will just understand. Take away the need to be with this person and the need to be in a relationship. Take away all of that pressure, and I guarantee you that your friendship will grow stronger and this person will learn to trust again. Okay? We also have the Hangman card, which to me is like kind of saying take it easy, go with the flow. That goes along with that flow card that I pulled earlier. The Hangman is all about going with the flow. And just the three cards I pulled, the Seven of Pentacles, the Sun card, and the Chariot definitely shows with patience, time, putting effort, allowing for this person to heal, and taking away the pressure of having to be in a relationship will help this relationship evolve into something more eventually, when it is time, when it is ready. Okay, so I do see that as a plus for you. I do see, you know, being able to start over and all of that. Is it going to happen anytime soon? No. I feel like this healing process is going to be a while. I feel like it could be even in through to next year. You know, I don't want to put a date and a time because I could be wrong. And, you know, the future changes with how much effort and action you're putting in the present. But I do feel like if this person is ready to start their healing process and take it seriously, and you are really backing off and taking off a lot of that pressure that you put on them, this process will move forward in a positive way for you. So we have extend or expand, energetic shift, and we have manifest. Beautiful. So extend and expand, it's like extending your mindset and your heart, okay? Realizing that you don't have to be the significant other's, you know, the one. You don't have to be romantically involved in order to be in each other's lives. You can just have a friendship while you allow this person to heal. When you can extend and expand that mindset, it's going to be a very healing realization for you, I feel. It takes a lot of pressure off of her too. And then we have the energetic shift here. So to me, it's like once you accept and you tell yourself, you know what? Yes, I have been putting a lot of pressure on this person. I have been trying to control things. I have been blah, 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 blah. Once you can accept that and pull away from it, there will be a major shift in energy. And this person, you know, they will feel it. They will notice, oh my gosh, there's something different about you. There's something different about this approach. What is happening? It's almost like they're going to feel that extra space to breathe, okay? And then we have the manifest, which is the same as the Magician card that I pulled earlier. Manifesting is kind of like the gift that you're going to receive after all of this hard work is done. And I do feel the manifest card, you know, it's going to reveal a second chance. It's going to reveal the cycle being broken. And we want that. We want that cycle to be broken so that you have another shot at love. You know, and don't rush that because it's not meant to happen right away. I feel like this is going to be a slow process. It's a lesson for you to pull back and to stop putting pressure on this person. But it's also a lesson for this person too, to realize, hey, I have a lot of shit that I need to go through and figure out so that I can be a better lover to you or whoever, to themselves. So it's a big, what do I want to say? Like, it's a big step for the two of you. I think it's positive. It may not be exactly what you wanted to hear, because I know everyone wants to hear, you know, that yes, you will be together and yes, it will be happy ever after. But I don't like to read like that all the time. I like to I'll read like that when I say all the time. I read like that when the message is meant to be that way. But for this particular message for you, I feel it's more of Spirit is telling you need to back off a little bit. You see the bigger picture, see that this person needs this time and to honor it. So more so it's about what they need and their healing process versus what you think you need and what you think you deserve out of this. So with that concludes your love reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. And if anyone who's watching, if you guys are interested in a reading, please click the link below. Like I said, I'm having a sale on my readings right now, so check out the shop, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, my loves.